The shadow in the snow. Detective Robert Callahan's boots crunched through the snow outside the Lake Sammamish State Park Ranger Station. It was July 1974, but the air held a chill that didn't belong to summer. Two young women, Janice Ott and Denise Naslin, had vanished from the crowded park that day. Witnesses described a charming man named Ted, his arm in a sling, asking for help with a sailboat. Callahan's gut twisted. He'd seen this pattern before. The Seattle area was unraveling. Young women, bright, ambitious, kind, were disappearing. First, Linda and Healy in February, a 21-year-old student at the University of Washington, gone from her basement apartment. Her bed was neatly made, but bloodstains on the pillow told a different story. Then Donna Manson, Susan Rancourt, Kathy Parks, Brenda Ball, all spirited away under the cover of night or the distraction of day. No bodies, no traces, just absence. Callahan, a 15-year veteran of the King County Police, had never faced a case so elusive. He stood in the ranger station, studying a sketch based on witness descriptions. A handsome man, mid-20s, brown hair, blue eyes, a disarming smile. Ted. The name felt like a taunt. Callahan's partner, Detective Marie Vega, handed him a cup of black coffee. "You think it's one guy?" she asked, her voice low. Callahan nodded. The similarities were too stark. Co-eds, brunette, parted hair, vanished without a scream. The man was a predator, blending into the world like a wolf in a flock. By November 1974, the case took a darker turn. In Utah, 17-year-old Debbie Kent disappeared from a high school parking lot. A witness saw a tan Volkswagen Bug speed away. Callahan exchanged reports with Utah detectives, noting the same description. A charming man, a sling, a VW Bug. The name, Ted, surfaced again. Then, in Colorado, Karen Campbell, a 23-year-old nurse, vanished from a ski lodge. Her body was found weeks later, brutalized. Callahan felt the weight of each name, each face, piling onto his desk like unpaid debts. The break came in August 1975. Utah police arrested a man during a traffic stop, Theodore Robert Bundy, 28, a law student with a clean record. His VW Bug held a chilling cargo, a ski mask, handcuffs, an ice pick, pantyhose without holes cut out. Callahan flew to Salt Lake City to see him. Bundy was polished, articulate, almost too perfect. His eyes, though, were empty, like a mirror reflecting nothing but the viewer's fear. "I'm innocent," he said, smiling. Callahan's skin prickled. He dug into Bundy's past. A psychology degree, a stint at a crisis hotline, a life that screamed normalcy. Yet the timeline fit. Bundy had lived in Seattle during the Washington murders, then moved to Utah as the killings shifted south. Bundy's arrest didn't stop the nightmare. In January 1977, he escaped from a Colorado jail, slipping through a library window. Callahan got the call at midnight, his heart sinking. "He's gone," the Colorado sheriff said. 6 months later, Bundy struck again. In Tallahassee, he broke into Florida State University's Chi Omega sorority house. It was January 15th, 1978, just after 3 a.m. In a frenzy, he killed 2 women, Lisa Levy and Margaret Bowman, and severely injured 2 others. Weeks later, he abducted 12-year-old Kimberly Leach from her school. Her body was found in April, discarded like refuse. Callahan traveled to Florida, where Bundy was recaptured in February 1978 after a stolen car chase. The evidence was damning. Bite marks on Lisa Levy matching Bundy's teeth, fibers from his clothes, eyewitnesses. But it was Bundy's demeanor that haunted Callahan. During interviews, he was glib, almost playful, as if the lives he'd taken were pieces in a game. "What's the big deal?" Bundy once asked, leaning back in his chair. Callahan clenched his jaw, resisting the urge to lunge across the table. As Bundy prepared for trial in 1979, Callahan pieced together the scope of Bundy's reign of terror. He confessed to 30 murders, though some estimated over 40. From Washington to Oregon, Utah, Idaho, Colorado, and Florida, the map of his crimes sprawled like a spider's web. He lured women with a ruse, crutches, a sling, a lost puppy, exploiting their kindness. He studied them, mimicked their trust, then betrayed it with a crowbar or his hands. The bodies, when found, were often skeletal, hidden in forests or ravines. Some, like Janice Ott and Denise Naslund, were never recovered, their fates a wound that never closed. Callahan sat in the Miami courtroom during Bundy's trial, watching the spectacle. Bundy, acting as his own attorney, turned the proceedings into theater. He proposed to his girlfriend on the stand, charming some spectators. But the jury saw through the mask. On July 24, 1979, he was convicted of the Chi Omega murders and sentenced to death. A second death sentence followed for Kimberly Leach's murder. Callahan felt no victory, only exhaustion. The families wept quietly in the gallery, their loss a chasm no verdict could bridge. In his final days, Bundy confessed, offering scraps of truth to delay his execution. He described the killings with chilling detachment, calling them events. Callahan listened to the tapes, his hands trembling. Bundy admitted to revisiting crime scenes, keeping mementos, jewelry, photos. Even worse, he spoke of a force inside him, but Callahan saw no demon, only a man who chose to kill. The confessions helped locate some remains, giving a few families closure, but many questions lingered. On January 24, 1989, Bundy faced the electric chair at Florida's Rayford Prison. Outside, crowds chanted, holding signs, "Burn, Bundy, burn." Callahan didn't join them. He sat in his Seattle office, staring at a photo of the victims he'd known only through files. Linda, Susan, Denise, Lisa, Kimberly, and so many others. Their smiles, frozen in time, were a reminder of what was stolen. Bundy's death didn't erase the pain. It only marked the end of his ability to inflict more. Callahan retired in 1990, carrying the case like a scar. He never spoke of Bundy, but the name lingered in his dreams. The charming monster had shown him fragility of trust, the cost of kindness. As he walked through Lake Sammamish Park one last time, he paused by the water, the sunset casting long shadows. He whispered the names of the women he'd failed to save, hoping they'd found peace where he never would.